Ancient Athens and democracy in general are held in high regard in our culture, and it's easy to see why. Even though the Parthenon is a symbol of democracy, so many leaders of democracies seek out the opportunity to pose in front of it. The fact that one of ancient Greece's greatest achievements, philosophy, was skeptical of its other great success, democracy, is remarkable. Plato's dialogues show Socrates, the father of Greek philosophy, as a pessimist when it comes to democracy. Book 6 of the Republic tells the story of Plato's Socrates engaging in an argument with a character named Adeimantus, in which Socrates tries to persuade him to understand the defects of democracy through the analogy of society as a ship. Socrates says, "If you were going on a voyage by sea, who would you want in control of the ship? Those who are knowledgeable about the rules and regulations of sailing, or those who are not?" That's what Adeimantus is saying. Therefore, why do we keep assuming that every old person should be able to evaluate who should be a ruler of a country? Socrates makes the argument that casting a ballot is more of an art than a science. It is a skill that, like any other, must be taught to others in a systematic manner. The equivalent of putting a crew in command of a trireme sailing to Samos in a storm is allowing the general public to vote without any training or preparation. Socrates was about to have a life-altering encounter with the irrationality of voters. The philosopher was tried in 399 BC on fabricated charges of corrupting the Athens young. When the matter was presented to a jury of 500 Athenians, they narrowly found the philosopher guilty. Hemispheric executions are as heartbreaking for non-believers as Jesus' crucifixion was for Christians. To be clear, Socrates was not in the traditional sense an elite. A small group of people should not be the only ones who have a say. Only those who have considered the subject thoroughly and reasonably should be allowed to vote, he insisted. An intellectual democracy and a democracy by birthright are two different things. Without tying it to wisdom, we've handed out the right to vote to everyone. As for Socrates, he was well aware of the danger this would pose, the rise of the Greeks' most dreaded form of government, demagoguery. When Alcibiades, a wealthy, charismatic, and smooth-talking wealthy man, weakened essential freedoms and helped propel ancient Athens to its disastrous war exploits in Sicily, ancient Athena had unpleasant experience with demagogues. This is a lesson Socrates learned the hard way from his time as a student of philosophy. It was as if the two candidates were a doctor and a candy shop owner facing off in an election discussion, and he asked us to picture it. "You know, I'm sure this individual here has done a lot of bad things to you," the sweet store owner would tell his adversary. "Because of his cruel treatment of your body, you are told to refrain from eating and drinking whatever your heart desires. He won't be able to provide you with a wide variety of delectable treats like I can." Socrates wants us to reflect on the doctor's ability to respond to the questions of the audience. Voters would be outraged if the real answer was, "I give you trouble and go against your desires in order to help you." As a society, we have completely forgotten about Socrates' important cautions about democracy. We'd rather think of democracy as a universally beneficial thing than as something whose value is contingent on the quality of the education it receives. So, instead of electing doctors, we've chosen a lot of candy store owners. View moduli insert chart trending up Predict Pro. Overview /s /s 70.1/